Welcome back to Fourth Quarter Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Edward DeMaria, and this week, my guest is my buddy, Patrick. How you doing, Patrick?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic, Ed. How are you?
I'm doing great. Alrighty, so we're going to start off talking about the NFL a little bit. Let me just pull up here. So, week one, last week's picks did not go too hot for me. I went a cumulative 5. I got 5 right. My guests got 11, so right now I'm down 1-0 to the guests in picks.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm hoping you don't do as well.
2-0.
Yeah. All right, so we're looking here at Players of the Week. This is just for the AFC because it's the only one that matters. AFC Offensive Player of the Week, the reigning MVP, Lamar Jackson.
I mean, that's just a good pick. He played really well. His passing was really on point, except for the first touchdown. Really just kind of, guess he got a little excited when he saw Mark Andrews wide open, kind of airmailed him a little bit.
Yeah.
But if we're going to be honest, I really think it should have been T.J. Watt, man. He did really well. It was the Jets, but Daniel Jones came back and did really well, better than I really expected him to do.
T.J. Watt plays defense.
Shit. I just realized you said offensive.
There's a defensive player. It's not T.J. Watt though. I can tell you that right now. But
I think it should be.
T.J. Watt deserves AFC Offensive Player of the Week too.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson won it. Pretty deserving. I remember I saw a tweet and it was this guy complaining that the award was racist because Aaron Rodgers didn't win AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers really did well too, but I also really think that a player that not that many people were talking about was Juju with the 2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
really.
Aaron Rodgers also plays in the NFC, so just.
Holy shit, dude! I don't know the divisions of football. I really think it's NFL. There we go.
This is wow. All right. So coming up here on the AFC Defensive Player of the Week, Casey Hayward. I don't know about this one. He had 12 tackles and 2 passes defended. I guess, but there were I don't know. Stephon Gilmore in my mind should have won this one.
What did Gilmore have? I didn't really watch the game.
6 tackles, an interception, and 5 passes defended. But they also ran a lot of zone this week instead of playing man, so he didn't really get to shine how he does, I guess. I mean, that's probably the only main argument against it. And then special team. What are you gonna say?
I'm definitely still going T.J. Watt, defensive.
Defensive. There you go.
What was it? 3 sacks and an interception, something like that.
Yeah, it was really bizarre. It was wild.
That.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just did really well.
And then no one cares about special teams player of the week because it wasn't Steven Gostkowski. Okay. He deserved it. That's all I'm gonna say.
He really did. Carried the team.
And then next up, we got the power rankings here. So we're just gonna go through these pretty briefly until we get to the top 10, and then we'll actually start talking about them. So 32nd, the New York Jets.
Obviously.
31st, the Carolina Panthers. 30th are the Bengals. 29th is the Browns. I'm a little curious if there's going to be any teams that are 1-0 lower than any teams that are 0-1.
I don't really think so.
Next up,
maybe the
football team.
Eagles. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean maybe. 28 Detroit Lions. 27 Giants. 26 of the Dolphins. 25 Jaguars at 1-0 or 25.
I mean, they really don't have that many playmakers other than Miles Jack and Yannick Ngakoue on defense.
They don't have Yannick Ngakoue anymore. They already traded him.
Shit. God, I really got to keep up with my stuff.
I mean, DJ Chark didn't have a terrible game. Gardner Minshew is Gardner Minshew, the greatest quarterback in the NFL.
Love that guy.
Yeah. Alrighty. Indianapolis Colts. That's a little odd. They lost to the Jaguars and they're 1 point ahead of them. 23rd is the Falcons. 22nd is the Bears. They beat the Lions this week at 1-0. 21st is the Chargers. They beat the Bengals, but not by a lot. 20 is the Texans. 19 is the Washington football team at 1-0.
I don't like that one just because.
Higher or lower? Where do you think they should be? Higher or lower?
Definitely lower, just because I don't think they're going to play. I think that is one of the best games they'll have all year because I really think that the Eagles just kind of went out thinking they were going to walk all over them like they did last year, and they kind of got it handed to them.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. 18, Denver Broncos. 17 is the Cowboys. That's really unfortunate.
Always a good ranking.
They were 6. They dropped 11 spots this week.
Wow.
16
Go
is...
back to the Broncos real quick. Who I'm really liking this year is, like, Drew Lock.
Yeah,
Lock,
I think...
watched part of that first game. I think his biggest receivers are definitely going to be Cortland Sutton, obviously, once he, like, gets healthy, and definitely Noah Fant, because he targeted him a lot in that game.
Yeah, besides the fact that he had both Cortland Sutton and KJ Hamler out, he still... And, like, Jerry Jeudy had a great game. He dropped that, like, there was one pass in, like, the third quarter he dropped, like, a 3rd and 7. Clean in route, got wide open, and just dropped it. But, like, besides, I think they'll be good this year.
He made some really good passes.
Yeah. 16, we have the Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders. They play at home next week for the first time. 15, the Buccaneers are 0-1.
I think they just have them there because of all the hype like the Browns did last year. Because everybody thought the Browns were going to make the playoffs, and then they
didn't.
Very underperformed. So bad. And that's what I really think the Bucs are going to have this year.
Did they put the Browns on here yet? I didn't see them. I think they might have been lower.
I think they did already.
Yeah, I think we just passed over them super briefly because they don't matter. 14 is the Eagles. They're 0-1. 13 is the Titans. 12 is the Rams. I think they should be higher.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have a real bounce back year. Golf is real. This is a make or break season for golf, just because.
And I think he played a great game, especially with that running game that they had going on.
Yeah.
11 is the Vikings at 0-1. I guess. I know that.
I really don't know about the Vikings.
They lost by 9. They put up 34 points this week, but still lost. So.
Yeah, the defense was really lacking, but then I really think Rodgers came out against them and just was dotting up passes.
10 is the. All right, here we go. Top 10. New England Patriots at 1-0. They beat Miami 21-11.
I think that's a good spot, maybe a little lower, just because after what happened with Cam last year, and he just kind of like everybody was kind of down on him, and I think that's a good game for him, but I think that's probably one of the best he'll have all season, and it is the Dolphins, even though they did lose to him last year, but I still think they should be a little lower or just right there.
Yeah, no, I think I'd probably take the Rams and put the Rams at 10 and then bump everyone else down like in between there a spot. San Francisco 49ers at 0-1 at 9.
I think they have to have them there just after the season they had last year. And wasn't that Cardinals game last year a close game too?
Yeah, I think the second. I don't remember the first one, but I'm pretty sure the second one was.
The second one was a pretty close game. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I
still think they should keep them there just because of the season they had last year.
Yeah.
I think this is a proving year for Garoppolo, just because he did super well last year, but I think he's gonna like slow down this year.
And they lost a big part of their run game, and I watched a little bit of that game, and it looked like they tried to rely on the run early in the game, and then it kind of just fell apart. Plus George Kittle also left in the first quarter, so that's Cardinals.
That's never good when you lose your best receiver.
Yeah, Cardinals at 8, 1-0. They beat the 49ers this week, so.
I mean, I guess that's a good pick for them. They played a really good game.
Yeah.
Nothing other than that.
Yeah, not really much besides that. Number 7 is the Bills. They beat the Jets. No surprise there, really.
Yeah, I really think the Bills are just kind of like how they did in the playoffs last year. They'll probably end up choking midway through the season.
Although I still can't get that clip over my head just because it almost screwed me in fantasy this week. I had to play John Brown because Kenny Golladay was out. But I just remember Josh Allen rolls out to his left. Wide open back of the end zone, he launches it into the stands.
That's Josh Allen for you.
Like, I don't understand. Sometimes he looks like Aaron Rodgers. Sometimes he looks like Nathan Peterman. Like, there's just no middle ground between the two.
There really isn't.
All right, next up, 6 is the Green Bay Packers. I think they're too low. I think like the defense didn't play well, but my goodness, Aaron Rodgers, what a game!
Devontae Adams had like 120 yards, 2 touchdowns, something like that.
Something insane.
He just really performed well.
Yeah. 5 is the Steelers. I'd swap them in the Packers.
I definitely would too, but still gotta hand it to. I think early in the game they tried relying too much on the run instead of just hitting their good short underneath route passes and getting good yardage.
And then the game kind of got close there at the end, and then they just aerated it out and put them away. Yeah, they beat the Giants this week. 4th is the Seattle Seahawks. Yeah.
I have to see who's 3rd before I can talk about this real quick.
So the Seahawks they beat Atlanta 38-25. They were, I think, up and then tied for a little bit. Yeah, number 3 I'm pretty sure is the Saints.
I would probably switch the Saints and the Seahawks just because the Saints played the Bucs, who have very little team chemistry, even though their team is very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
They're it's just that most of the Seahawks players have been playing together for so long, and it's kind of they knew what they wanted to do. Well, the Bucs were just let's just try and win this game. But then the Bucs did play a tougher opponent compared to the Seahawks. But I still think Russ went out and just balled out.
Yeah. Number 2, the Baltimore Ravens.
Not much you can say. Definitely one of the best teams in the league.
38-6 over the Browns.
It is the Browns, but I'm not gonna lie. Just because of what happened the first time we played them last year, I was a little scared in the first quarter. But after Baker came out being Baker, throwing picks left and right.
The first drive, he threw an interception.
On the first drive, I will say, his receiver missed it and it redirected?
Nah, Calais Campbell jumped up and tipped it. Well, I say jumped up, but I mean he just put his arms up, and that basically accounts for 10 feet of human.
That is very true.
Yeah, he's a big man. I mean, there's always the argument that, you could put last year, this was kind of the same scenario. You had Ravens at 2 and then the Chiefs at 1. And there was always the argument you could put the Ravens over the Chiefs because whatever, they're on this win streak. But you can't really do that this year because, the whole Super Bowl. And then, I already said it, Clyde Edwards-Helaire had a great game. Patrick Mahomes, I think Patrick Mahomes underperformed for Patrick Mahomes.
This is very true. What was he? 211, 3 TDs.
211, 3 TDs with a 123 passer rating. That's a very
average game for him, I feel like.
Yeah, that sounds so weird to say, but that's
it does.
Yeah, that's
I feel he would come out and play better.
Mhm. That's kind of a middle of the road
especially
for
a game, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So, they're the power rankings. Chiefs top it off. Yeah. Ravens coming in at 2nd.
Top 3 is, I think, where it's supposed to be.
Yeah. I mean, there's the argument that you could move, the
some
Saints.
Teams around,
the Saints and the,
I think it's a pretty good ranking so far.
All right, so we're going to go ahead here and pick some games. I've got the schedule pulled up here.
As do I.
And I also have my notepad here that I'm just going to input your picks because I've already got mine. So Thursday night, Browns versus Bengals.
I'm going to go Browns here. Or not Browns, Bengals. Just because I think Joe Burrow is going to go off. But at the same time, they're both really bad teams. So it's really just whoever ends up not being the worst.
Yeah. I picked the Bengals too. Just because I believe in Joe Burrow. I think he'll get it done. I mean, they are playing on the road Thursday night for a rookie is never easy because you're not accustomed to that turnaround because you never have that in college football.
That is true.
You always play on a Saturday, but I don't know. Alrighty. Next.
I think he's definitely going to perform way better than he did on Sunday.
Definitely, because the Browns' defense is nowhere near as good as the Chargers.
Oh, yeah.
You just can't make that argument whatsoever. Next up, Ravens, Texans. I'm not even going to ask you.
Of course, Ravens.
Giants.
Ravens in a close one, I think.
In a close? Yeah, I could see that.
In a close one.
See, it could be you could get
it's either going to be a blowout or a close game.
Yeah, but you get a 34 35, like a 31-35 Ravens victory, or you could just have another 42-0 victory for the Ravens. There's just really no
what I'm thinking it's gonna be.
Yeah. All right, Giants Bears.
definitely, I'm going Giants just because Trubisky is so bad, and the only reason the Lions didn't win, Swift open in the end zone, just hands like rocks.
Yeah.
Didn't get it.
Yeah. All right. Falcons versus Cowboys. I picked the Giants as well in that game, so we're looking pretty similar. Falcons and Cowboys.
I'm gonna go Cowboys just because I think Gallup and Amari Cooper are gonna go off against not the best secondary, and I think Zeke is just gonna eat it up that whole game. I think they're gonna fire on all cylinders.
I watched what Jared Goff and Malcolm Brown were able to do to the Cowboys defense, and I think that Matt Ryan is better than Jared Goff and Todd Gurley is better than Malcolm Brown, so I have the Falcons in that game.
Hey, you never know. I think that's going to be another game where it's either somebody's getting blown out or it's a close one.
Yeah, all right. Packers, Lions.
Packers for sure.
Yeah.
No question about it.
You watch what happened last week, and there's not much argument there.
No.
Next up, I actually didn't make a pick for this game for some reason. So, Titans, Jaguars.
Definitely going to have to go Titans. I think they really underperformed. Derrick Henry still rushed for 115, but I think his average was down for what he wanted. And I think he just kept getting stuck at the line and trying to get around people, and they would just get there. They were just really prepared for it.
Yeah. All right. Next up, Colts, Vikings.
I'm going to say Vikings just because I think their defense is better.
I went with Colts. Gut feeling.
Yeah.
Bills, Dolphins.
Oh, Bills for sure.
Yeah. Tua's not starting until week 4, so it's not Tua time yet. Clock's ticking, though. Clock's ticking.
I still think Tua is going to underperform this year. That's just me, though.
Ooh.
Yeah. Based off, so for me, after the year where he came in after Jalen Hurts and won the national championship, I think the year after that was good, and then last year was all downhill. He did not perform as well as I thought he was going to.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's like this long, like 30-year track record of Alabama, or whenever they were good, it's like Alabama quarterbacks just extremely underperforming in the NFL. Like A.J. McCarron won 2 national titles. So, I mean, I don't think he's even on a team anymore. He might be like the Raiders, maybe, as like a 3rd string. I don't know. Alrighty. 49ers, Jets.
Taking the Niners, no question.
Alrighty. Rams or Eagles?
I'm going Eagles here just because I think after getting their butts handed to them by the Washington football team, they're going to want to come out and just...
An old football team.
Yep, just destroy them. I think that's their mindset.
Jeez, I missed this game as well. All right, Broncos versus Steelers.
I think this is going to be a close one. Me being a Baltimore fan, I want to root against the Steelers, but I think they're going to win. But I think Drew Lock is going to have another good passing game.
So I just made my pick right here. I'm going to go with the Broncos because I really liked what I saw against the Titans because, I mean, the Titans secondary is nowhere as close to good as nowhere as close as good to what the Steelers have, but I think by then the Broncos will have more of their weapons back by Sunday. I hope at least Cortland Sutton will be back. I don't know about KJ Hamler. I don't know what's up with him. But the Titans pass rush is decently similar to what the Steelers have. Good guys up front as well as a phenomenal linebacker coming around the edge, and I saw little to no pass rush after like the first 2 drives getting in from the Titans. So
yeah, even with Clowney, I mean, he's out of his prime, but he did way better than expected last year. So
yeah. Alrighty. Next up is Buccaneers and Panthers.
This is a tough one for me, but I'm gonna say the Bucs. Just after last week, I think they're gonna have a lot more chemistry, and even though the passing game for the Panthers really was out there last week with Teddy Bridgewater and Robbie Anderson, I still think it's gonna be the Bucs.
Yeah.
They just have all the weapons.
Yeah. All right. Cardinals and football team.
Cards, definitely by a lot.
By a lot.
By a lot, just because they came out and played extremely well against the Niners.
Yeah, I took the Cardinals as well. Arizona's 6.5-point favorites in that game, so I missed another game. Wow, how did I miss these? I mean, it's not a hard pick. It's Chiefs versus Chargers.
Yeah, Chiefs. Yep.
Seahawks, Patriots.
Yeah, definitely gonna go Hawks here. I just don't think Cam's gonna perform up to what he did last week, even though it was against the Dolphins. I still think it's gonna be the Hawks.
Yeah, and then last up, Monday Night Football, Saints versus Raiders in the new Raiders Stadium.
Saints again.
Yeah.
It's just this is a big year for Derek Carr. He did pretty well last week, but maybe. I think this one will be close because they don't have Michael Thomas this week.
Oh, that is true. I forgot about that. Wow. Yeah. Alrighty, you need a lock of the week. Who are you 100% picking? Both me and Sean, we went 0 for 1, the two of us. So currently the guests are sitting at 0-1, and I am sitting at 0-1. I picked the Eagles last week. He picked the Colts last week. This week, if you can't see, I've got the Rams over the Eagles. I'm doubling down. The only thing is, you cannot pick the Colts this week.
I am going, where was I? Cardinals over the Washington football team.
Cardinals are your lock. So the way this works basically is, as each week, I pick a lock, and I can't pick that team for the rest of the year, and then my guests pick a lock, and they can't pick that team for the rest of the year. So the Cardinals are off the board. But if the Rams are playing whoever next week, and the guests want to take the Rams, who I took this week, they can. That's perfectly fine by me. That's good for them. Alrighty. Yeah, so there you go. There are your picks for us for the week. So next up, we're looking at the NBA. Yeah, Bam Adebayo with this incredible block, as you can see here on the screen, right in the middle.
Clutch.
Yeah.
Very
all right.
clutch.
I'm gonna play the video right here from the cast. So here it is. If you haven't seen it yet, I hope you have.
Of course I have. It's all over the place.
Clutch as ever. They're up 2
Really
points.
is.
5 seconds left on the clock. Jason Tatum gets by Jimmy Butler,
Yeah,
and
that's
Bam Adebayo is having none of it. And
what I was
mean,
gonna say,
yeah,
too.
that was
I
almost
did
bad.
see freeze.
Oh my goodness. Okay, that wasn't terrible. Just edit that part out. Bubble Sports, go.
Yeah, so Nuggets, Lakers. I'm Lakers in 6. Nuggets are gonna come back, tie the series, but the Lakers are gonna take it. That's just because Jamal Murray has been going off, playing like a madman with his hair on fire. Same with Jokic, but I think it's just gonna be LeBron being LeBron in the playoffs and putting the team on his back and going all the way.
Yeah, so the Nuggets did come back from 2 3-1 deficits, which is incredible that any team has ever been able to do that. So Thursday, as of recording this, tomorrow night. Today's Wednesday. Yeah, tomorrow night, Heat Celtics Game 2 Eastern Conference Finals. Who are you taking?
Going Celtics. I think Celtics are winning the series. That's just me.
My personal pick is Heat in 5. So I have the Heat.
5?
I've got Heat, Celtics, Heat. So just
I'm going Celtics in 7.
Celtics and
Celtics in 7.
as close as last night was, the Celtics had it for pretty much the entire game and then just fell
True.
apart at the end. The Heat scored
They really
seven unanswered points in the last 2 minutes of the game
True.
and forced overtime.
Their defense is very, very good, especially with Butler and Adebayo.
I like to refer to the Celtics as an AAU team because it's like insane defensive guys, bigs and guards, and then just all these white guys that shoot threes. And it's just like what more do you need from a basketball team?
That's very true. It's very true.
So Friday, Nuggets Lakers game 1. Per usual, I've got Lakers in 5 for this series, so Nuggets are taking game 1, obviously.
I have Lakers in 6, said that already, but I I think Nuggets are gonna lose game 1, then come back, win the next 2.
And then they're going to be up 2-1 and then just fall apart.
Yeah, I think that's what it's gonna be.
One also like Twilight Zone dimension scenario I could see is the Nuggets go up 3-1 and then blow it. I feel like that'd be pretty funny.
I don't think they're gonna blow it per se. I think LeBron's just gonna come out and dominate.
LeBron will just be better. Yeah, I could see that happening too. Alrighty. Next up, college football. A little clip here. The Big Ten is back, ladies and gentlemen.
That's what I'm hyped about.
They are playing, even though that they are like going to be 6 weeks late.
Doesn't matter.
October 24th is supposed to be the date. They're supposed to announce it sometime today. If they do, then you'll probably see something down there that says the Big Ten did announce it. This is when they're playing. October 24th is the big day. But until then, we don't really have much. There was only one upset last week, and it was Louisiana. The Ragin' Cajuns took down, I've already forgotten who they beat. Iowa State.
I didn't watch college football that week just because nobody's that's good's playing.
Well, there is a top 25 matchup this week between two teams, so we are going to pick games this week for college football.
Ooh.
So number 7. So last week's rankings, all of the teams that weren't playing, so like all the Big Ten, Pac-12 teams, were included in the top 10 in the top 25. Now it's just Big 12, ACC, and SEC teams. So Notre Dame, it's 7th ranked Notre Dame over South Florida. Notre Dame is 26-point favorites.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go Notre Dame on that one. Love it. Love seeing it.
Yeah.
Billy Scott, baby.
There you go. Notre Dame, yeah. Number 11, Oklahoma State over Tulsa. I think this is the first week of Big 12 play. There was a couple teams that played last week, but I think this is like the official start of it.
Yeah, definitely Oklahoma State.
22.5-point favorites. Yeah, I mean, most teams that are ranked are going to be favorited.
Yeah.
So we'll just do some of the big name ones here. So number 12, North Carolina against Charlotte. 30-point favorites, UNC is.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah.
Just most of the time you have a ranked team playing an unranked team, they're going to destroy them. It's like there's 1 or 2 games every year where the unranked team just comes out and plays better.
So there's not even a money line for this because I think it's going to be that bad of a blowout. Number 1 ranked Clemson is playing the Citadel.
Oh dear.
They are the besides, I mean, like, I don't know. Yeah, it's going to be bad.
Yeah, I don't think this is even going to be close. Trevor Lawrence is going to come out and
I mean, the Citadel was tied with Alabama at halftime 2 years ago when they played them. Yeah, Clemson by a lot. Not close. I thought Wake Forest was bad. But here we go. ABC, 7:30 p.m. Saturday night, 17th Miami versus 18th Louisville.
Ooh.
That's a good game. That's college football. Under the lights, that's college football.
I have not watched Miami play in so long, but I'm taking Louisville.
The last time I watched Miami was when they strung up 35 points on Notre Dame in 3 quarters. Louisville.
Yeah, definitely.
Louisville. Next up, the MLB. We just got some power rankings. I know you're a big baseball guy, so number 10 is the Indians.
I mean, I think that's a good spot. They did lose some pitching, but they do have Bieber, who's just been the Cy Young candidate throughout the entire year. And losing Clevenger, definitely their number 2 guy, kind of hurts, but I don't know who they got back in that trade or anything. But Plesac has come out and shoved. Carrasco is doing the same thing. They definitely would have the best rotation if they didn't get rid of Trevor Bauer last year or Clevenger this year.
Yeah, I got attacked by some MLB fans on my last podcast because I famously said that having a 7.14 ERA was good.
Big water polo guy.
Little bit, yeah. Number 9 is the Yankees.
I feel like they should just be better, but with Stanton and Judge hurt, I feel like that's a great spot. I hate the Yankees, but their pitching is the best.
Yeah.
I think.
The Braves are at 8, the Cubs are at 9, and the the Twins are at 6 to round out the bottom 5.
The Twins are just. I feel like everybody sleeps on the Twins just because they haven't been good in a while. But with Rich Hill and Kenta Maeda and their pitching just being really good this year, and also having some very good power hitters and speed combination at the plate, I think they should. That's a good spot for them.
Yeah. Next up, we're in top 5 here. The White Sox. Are they really that good?
The White Sox have been playing very well. I haven't really watched their pitching, but they have some very, very good young players in Luis Robert and Tim Anderson. Or maybe it's Luis Robert. I think it's Luis Robert's name. I know his first name's Luis, but yeah, Tim and Tim Anderson have just been hammering baseballs. I haven't really paid attention to very much of their pitching, but I think them and the Twins should switch spots.
So White Sox at 6, Twins at 6, and then Twins at 5?
Yep.
Okay. 4th is the Oakland A's, the Athletics.
The A's have been playing very well, but they did lose their best defensive player in Matt Chapman to some injury. He has to get surgery out for the rest of the year. But they're a team that has not very many big names, but are very good for whatever reason. I don't even know why. They're just very good. They do struggle in playoff series, though, which is kind of upsetting just because they always do very well, end up doing really good in the regular season, and then just choke it in the playoffs.
Alrighty, third is the Padres. Gotta love the Padres, man.
Padres are playing really well with adding Clevenger and all the young, what's his name? Oh God, I can't even remember. I'll come back if I remember. Machado, Hosmer, maybe Renfroe. I don't think he's there anymore. Not there anymore. But the rookie, I can't remember the name for the life of me.
Yeah, Fernando Tatis Jr.
Fernando Tatis, yes.
Tatis, is that it? Okay, Tatis, got it.
Tatis, he's playing with his hair on fire this year, just destroying baseballs, playing with the energy that everybody should in baseball. And it kind of annoys me that, I don't know if you remember when he hit the grand slam on 3-0 and everybody came after him for it. I'm like, why? That's how
and then they did it again. Like,
yeah,
they don't care.
You're telling me if you get a pitch to hit on 3-0, even if you're up by a lot, you're not going to swing at it and try and do something?
Yeah.
Like, baseball's supposed to be fun. Having fun.
I was looking through my Twitter feed, and I saw a play from ESPN, and it was, I think it was Juan Soto. They were playing the Dodgers, drilled a ball to third base, and Machado just fully extends and just grabs it out of the air on a great play.
I miss him on the Orioles so much. But, you know, our rebuild, I think, is actually going very well, especially with our rookies right now.
Mm-hmm.
Mountcastle's just been really good. Our pitching definitely could still use some help. But DJ Stewart is another one, kind of sleeper, just hits homers left and right now.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
This just in, by the way, from NFL Update on Twitter. The 49ers are placing cornerback Richard Sherman on IR. He's out for at least the next 3 weeks.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Wow.
so I still don't think the Jets are going to win this week. Like this.
Really?
Yeah. No, I 49ers over Jets. Yeah.
Yeah.
Second is the Rays. Okay.
The Rays definitely should be there just because their pitching staff is probably the best in the league with Glasnow, just him, Morton, and their bullpen just being everybody being able to just throw 95 plus with devastating breaking stuff. It's really just fun to watch them. And it's like, me being a pitcher and all that, it's really fun to just like pick stuff out and be like, that's beautiful.
And then first place is the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the best team.
From what I've heard.
Adding Betts, and they're pitching
Yeah.
staff.
Betts hit the ball, not Juan Soto. I don't know. I was thinking of Juan Soto. I just saw a short last name on the back of the jersey.
Yeah, it's just they have the best offense in the league, no question. Their pitching staff also very good. Clayton Kershaw leading the way. I think this is their year. Even though with the short season, I still think they would be the #1 team and everything, and I think they would win.
Alrighty, so last up here, we're going to be doing something just a little bit different. I've got some insane headlines and statistics from the NFL. Can you name what player? So there's I got 1, 2, I got 3 of these. I have 4. One's from baseball though. The other 2 are from football, or the other 3 are from football. So what player? They are 10 for 10 with 10 touchdowns receiving in their career.
Oh my! I could not tell you. I really couldn't.
With an average of, I want to say, like 1.2 yards per catch. Back when he was
say it's quarterback. Is it like Nick Foles or something?
Back when he was a linebacker for the Patriots, current Titans coach Mike Vrabel has more receiving touchdowns than any of his in the postseason than any of his receivers do in the postseason.
Wow, I think that's funny.
He's
really
10
funny,
perfect 100% catch rate with probably 11, 12, 13 yards and then just 10 touchdowns.
Greatest to ever do it.
So, yeah, there you go. So next up, apparently, Jerry Rice is one of the only 2 players to ever catch a pass over the age of 40. He has 175 catches for 2,372 yards over 40. Can you name the other player?
Is it a quarterback? I want to say it's like Tom Brady or something like that. Even though I know it's not, but I know it's a quarterback.
Brett Favre.
About this. I can't remember. That's who it is.
Brett Favre.
Somebody old.
This is also a little interesting. Brett Favre has 1 catch for -2 yards, meaning that Jerry Rice accounts for 100.084% of all receiving yards over the age of 40.
That's why it's so funny. Brett Favre is just Brett Favre getting that -2 yards.
And then the last is the 2007 Chargers had the #1 ranked offense and the #1 overall ranked defense. What was their record and where did they finish that year?
Based off what you just said, I'm gonna say 6-10 at the bottom of their division or something like that.
You're not far off. They finished 8-8 and missed the playoffs they were the 7th seed in the AFC, one out of the wild card.
It was either 6-10 or 8-8. Just went with 6-10.
The 2007 Chargers missed the playoffs with the #1 overall offense, the #1 overall defense.
LaDainian Tomlinson?
Yeah, that was LaDainian Tomlinson, Phillip Rivers, probably Antonio Gates. Who was the one guy? Plaxico Burress was probably there.
Don't even know who that is.
I think he's the dude that shot himself in the foot.
Oh god. Oh god.
The reverse Jason Pierre-Paul.
Nice.
Alrighty, but that's all we have for today. It was great having you. This was a blast.
This was a blast.
It was awesome. Yeah. It was great having you. Don't really have much else. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, no problem. It's a pleasure being on.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, St. Joseph's varsity baseball pitcher, Patrick Bauer. He also plays water polo, and he looks like a tree. Thank you very much. I'm Edward DeMaria. I'm Edward DeMaria, host of Fourth Quarter Sports Podcast. I'll see you next week. Adios.